Hello, Cherries. Good morning. Good afternoon now. Sorry I'm a minute late here. And welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, episode 214. And in today's video, I'm going to show you 5 example patterns of how to play the Mixolydian mode. And you're really going to like this. This is some good stuff here. I'm going to say hello to my friend here in chat real quick. Hello, My Studios. Give you a round of applause. Hey Jerry, it's Tom, formerly rocking the Rockies, now living in the Villages, Florida. Wow, that's so cool. In the Villages, I've been there a bunch of times playing some gigs, and that's awesome. Good to see you. And my knees hurt. Cherry. Give you a round of applause too. Hope you're doing all right out there. I got some coffee. I got like 2 little sips left. What are you drinking out there? I know it's beer o'clock somewhere. But I'm going to give you an example here of what we're going to do. I've got a little E loop going on right here. And I'll play it in 1 second. And I have graphs for this. If you want these graphs, a PDF, just email me, info@JerryCherry, and I'll shoot them right over to you. But check this out. Here's the loop. It's just an E7 chord, right? And I'm going to play 5 different patterns with the E Mixolydian scale mode. And you can do this with any scale, any mode, but we're going to focus on the Mixolydian one today. So check it out. Let me know if you can hear everything out there. TV land. Check it out. Hello, Inca. One pattern. Check this out. Second. Oops. Hit a bad note there. It's a second pattern right there. There's a third. Check this out. It's a third pattern right there. Check this out. Here's a 4th pattern. Same thing on this string right here. That's 4th. And here's one last one. A little secret scale. All right. If you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. Give you a round of applause. All right, say hello to Jeffrey Boyle. Thanks for coming in on Sunday. Thumbs up. All right, Jeffrey. So cool. Inca from San Jose. I don't know the way to San Jose. You've heard that before. My knees hurt. 9 a.m. drinking an extra special bitter. 9 a.m. Why are you waiting so long? Why starting so late? Morning, Mr. Cherry. That's Mr. Cherry to you. All right, so good to see you again, rocking the Rockies. All right, well, this is really, really cool. Hopefully you enjoy this stuff. It's all one scale, and these 5 patterns, I have to give the credit to Osnoy here. I don't know if you know of Osnoy, but he's an amazing jazz fusion rock guitar player. And these 5 patterns are basically from him. You know, I was looking at one of his books. It's called Inside and Outside Playing, and I would be remiss, if I'm using that term correctly, if I don't mention him, because these idea patterns are from him. So check out his book, Inside and Outside Soloing, and this is part of that. But I'm going to go over like my interpretation of what I believe are important about these patterns right here. So starting off here, I want to show you that we'll switch over to here, to this screen. I'm going to show you the scale degrees of this. My knees hurt. I didn't wake up till 8:53. Well, you know, okay. You're forgiven now. Hello, Robbie H. Love. So check this out. We're not doing the major scale here. We're doing the Mixolydian. So here's the Mixolydian pattern right here. Starting on the open string. A major scale would just be... It would be an E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. But the Mixolydian mode is it has a flat 7th, so it's going to be a D instead. So it sounds like this. Major scale with a flat 7th. Absolutely right. My knees hurt. So really, what we are is we're in the key of A here. Yeah, the E Mixolydian mode is the 5th mode of A. So if I played an A major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the E is the 5th degree of A. So playing the A major scale, starting on from E to E, would be the Mixolydian mode. So it would be like this. Here's A major scale. But starting on E, same as this. So that's basically all it is. But you don't really want to think about playing A major scale right there. It's good to know that you're within the scale of the A major scale, but we're really focusing on E, from E to E, which gives it this tonality, this Mixolydian mode with the flat 7th right there. A little agua, you know. My Disco Unlimited mug here. Okay, so this is really important to know the intervals here. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and D. Really good stuff there. Basically, the A major scale starting on the the A. Excuse me. Now check this out. You know, this fits perfectly over that E7 chord. Excuse me. Here's an E7 chord right here. Check this out. I'll switch back over to here. You can see this E7. All I'm playing is the open E, the E note right here on the A string, 7th fret, 6th fret on the hitting the 3rd note, which is the G sharp right there, and then the 7th right there, which is the D on the G string. Little groove right here. I just create it on my looper. It's real simple. That's it right there. So it works perfectly over the scale because you have, in the degrees, you have the root, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and you have that 7th right there. So this scale is the perfect inside scale for this chord right here. And Inca, Cow, Super Chat $4.99 for Mika. Thank you so much. That is so cool. Give you a round of applause for that. Every now and then Inka and I like to see if the Super Chat function still works on this. Thank you very much. When you improvise over chord changes, are you thinking of playing pentatonic of each chord or play the scale of the key? Let's see. When you improvise over a chord change, are you thinking of playing pentatonics of each chord or play the scale of the key and hit the chord tones in the scale? I'm not really thinking of the pentatonics. I'm really thinking about what I want it to feel like over each chord. It depends on the progression. I mean, this isn't really a progression. This is just a loop, a vamp right here. You know, if we change to another chord, it would be a progression. But if I had just one chord right here, you could think of a lot of things. Right now, we're thinking of this mode, which is the E Mixolydian mode right here, right? So, in the case of this vamp right here, I'm not really, if I was landing on a note, I would focus on targeting the root or the third, like that, or the third, or the seventh, or the fifth, or the seventh. I got these two. That. So, good question. Great question. We get into different chords and stuff, you know, then you focus on targeting those chords in the progression. Or, it depends. You could just get into one flow and just kind of flow through all the chords. But great question. We'll come back to a little bit more of that later. So, I think now that we know the intervals, and I'm going to show you these 5 patterns that I played right here. So, the first one is this right here. Check this out. We have this. Here is the scale shape, and you could do this on any scale, any key really, you know, because I didn't put the notes in there really. I just indicated the roots. And starting on the E on the 6th string, which is right here, the open, you could do it open. So that first row with the root would be an open E right there. Or we could fret it at the 12th fret. And it's the perfect scale to play over this vamp right here. On the E string right here. Going back to your question, Inka, if you're running the scale, you don't have to really worry about target notes because you're just flowing through it. Like in this case, like this, if I go through this. But if I was to stop somewhere, I'd stop on a root, or a third, or the 5th, or the 7th. It's really good to know that starting on the E string right there, because there's 2 shapes that we could focus on. Starting on the E string and starting on the A string. And that scale shape looks like this right here. Basically, it's the same scale, but we're going to start on the E note on the A string. And it looks like this. remember, if you want a PDF of these graphics, just email me info@Cherry, and I'll shoot them right over to you. I can remember to look at you into the camera, because a lot of times I'm looking at this graph, just like you probably are, and it looks like I'm looking over there, but looking over there. So this shape right here, it's the Mixolydian mode. Again, starting on the A string. You had the E string here, but there'll be times when you need to play it over here. So between these two positions, you have a pretty wide gap, space of where you could play this mode. I mean, you're playing it from here, and then up here. So you really have all of this space right here, just by using these two, which is a lot of territory. Then you could double up or play it in different positions. Really doesn't matter, as long as you play the right notes, right? So, all right, great position right here. Now, over this chord progression, we have, using this position, which I'm calling this the second example. The root, the third, fifth, there's the seventh. Inside there and do whatever you want. But play eighth notes. Play 16th notes. Eighth notes would just be two notes within this quarter note. 16th notes would be four notes within this beat. Same thing up here. All right, so that's the first two patterns right there. And if you're enjoying this, hit that like button so far. Any questions about this stuff, let me know. Looper is just an E7 chord vamp. That's right, just an E7 chord vamp. And I wish I had a MP3 to send you, but it's really easy. You know, if you have a looper, if you don't, I recommend just buying a simple, cheap looper. I mean, this one right here is a RC5. It's not the cheapest one. It's the one up from the RC1, which is a $100 one. This is like 200 plus, but man, you could really do a lot with this RC5. I have links in the description for any of this gear that I'm using too. You can check that out. But you know, for stuff like this, you could just build your own loop and practice. It's so important. It's so cool to be able to just create a loop and sit there and play scales and see what they sound like over the chords. Really, really cool and helpful. So if you don't have a looper, I recommend getting a looper. Get a little loopy. Best investment probably ever made in my life was a looper. And okay, so that was example 1 and 2 is playing it on the E string and on the A string. And we're having a good time here playing probably one of my favorite scales modes. Any questions, let me know. And I'm calling this the Mixolydian Scale because, you know, it's really a mode, right? You know, it's a mode. It's the 5th mode within the scale. To me, there's only really 5 scales, but there's 35 modes because there's 7 modes per scale. Well, there's pentatonic. I'm not counting the pentatonic. Scales are diminished. Scales are altered. Actually, I'm calling it altered. I'm just calling the 5 scales, to me, are the major scale, the melodic minor scale, the harmonic minor scale, the harmonic major scale, and the double harmonic major. A lot of confusing stuff there, and there's 7 modes per. But I'm calling this a scale because it's a scale within a scale, essentially. Let's not get confused about it. It's all semantics, really, right? So I love one chord progressions. Looper pedal was one of the best things I ever did for my playing too. Yeah, so I love it too. So you're at the right place then if you like one chord vamps. Plus it's simple too. You could just get into a vibe on playing over one chord, and you get bored after a while. You want to add a second chord. So all right, so I showed you the first 3 examples. Let's go to the third one. Now this is really, really cool too. These first 2 were done vertically, which means up and down. Okay, if we close that out right there, you don't want to see these anymore right now. If we go, I have no more graphs for this one, but we're going to go horizontally now with something. Check this out. We're going to go starting on the E. We're going to go up the Mixolydian scale horizontally like this. But we're going to harmonize it in thirds right here. So I'm going to play it like this. So I'm harmonizing these. Basically, playing the root and the third is a dyad, building a chord. And if you harmonize one note with every one of these scale degrees, you're getting dyads all up and down the scale. And it sounds like this. That's the sound of Mixolydian right there. And Jeffrey Boyer, with a looper, you can busk in the street. You sure can. A lot of people doing that with crazy loopers, not just a simple one chord thing. I love one chord progressions, looper. Yep, absolutely. And so this is really, really cool, this one. Harmonizing this Mixolydian mode. It's really, really cool. And here's the Mixolydian mode one more time. Check it out. Just playing with the D there. Now I'm harmonizing it. Now the tricky thing about harmonizing this is that I've done plenty of lessons on the 7 chords of the diatonic scale, which are really important. And usually you're thinking about it starting with the major scale, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. It's really easy to remember it that way, especially if you learn it that way. For me, that's the way I learned it, and it's really embedded in my mind. The 7 chords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, like in A, it would be like 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, the major scale. It would harmonize would sound like this. Oops. So really, that A major key right here, you got the E, which is the 5th of A. So really, even though we're focusing on E Mixolydian here, the way my mind works is the E is the 5th chord still of A when harmonizing things. And it's really probably best to think about the E note right here. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky, but I want to try to explain this the best that I can right here. If E is the 5th of A, so that's the Mixolydian mode right here, right? Now to try to harmonize, to try to get your head around harmonizing that, you would have to think, if you're thinking of the key of E Mixolydian, you're thinking of, okay, well, it starts off with a major, then it's a minor, then a major, then a minor. So you think you have the degree chord degrees going up, but the way that I think about it in my head, and I don't know if it's going to be the same way for you or not, is I'm thinking of this as a 5, the shape, 5. So now that I know going up this scale, now I know from 5, I know how to get everywhere because I know where the 5th chord degree is related to everything else. I know that here's the 5th, here's the 4th, 3rd, 2, A is always going to be 1. And A. So I know that this is 5. So I know that this is 6, 7, here's 1, which is A, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 again, back to the E. And here's 6, F sharp. So I know in my mind, here's the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Even though I'm in E, that's where it gets a little confusing because you're probably, when you're in E7 like this, you don't want to think, well, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, because really that's a third of E. The 7 is really third, so it's probably best thinking of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's a 5 minor. If I played on B minor, a lot of people say, what's the 5 minor? Well, here's that E chord vamp, right? If I played a 5 minor, that would be B minor, like this. Completely minor. Kind of like that right there. Right. So it's a B minor right there, and then C sharp minor, 5 minor, 5, then 6, 7. That's the 7 chord of the E minor, 7 chord, which is a dominant, which is a flat 7, as opposed to if it was E major, it would be like a 7, like that. It would be like this. E major, but it's not. It's this, it's E Mixolydian. That's how you harmonize that. So I know it's a little bit confusing. And in the Nashville system and in the chord systems, you're always comparing the chord progression to what it is that you're playing in the key. So it's two different ways to look at it right here, you know. And it's great to look at them both ways. You know, like I said, you know, I grew up thinking here's the 5 chord over the A. So I'm thinking an easy way to remember this is just to continue playing the, if you know that's the 5 chord, you play 6, 7. Here's the root, because I know the patterns right here, the shapes. That's a here's a scale right here. I know that's a 5 shape, a major. Here's a 6 shape, minor, 7 shape, minor. The root of A, major. So there's the 2 chord, minor, 3 chord, minor, 4 chord, minor, and 5. But I'm trying to look at it a different way, where it's like here's the 5, here's the 1 chord of E Mixolydian. 2 chord would be a minor, 3 chord would be a minor. 4 chord is a major, 5 chord is a minor, right there. 6 chord is minor, 7 chord is minor, and a major. That's pretty cool. So it's good to know them both ways. Easy, whatever works for you, whatever, way works to where you can memorize these things. So any questions, let me know about this. That is the third way, right? Playing thirds. And we're going to play them vertically. Now, this is going to be one of the really cool ones right here coming up, after I take a little swig of what's left of my coffee here. And I know it's beer o'clock somewhere out there. But you could play the same thing going vertically instead of horizontally, playing it like this. It's a really cool pattern. I like this pattern. Do stuff like vertically like this. Check it out. And down. So all that is I'm playing the same thing. Instead of going up vertically, horizontally, we're going to go up vertically like this. Put on the screen right here so you can see that a little bit better. It's like this. So I'm going the root. I'm essentially just skipping a string like this. So every time you skip a note in the scale, same pattern that we've used before. Let's put this up here. Check it out. Starting on the root, just like that. We're going right up. The first one, the third one, then starting on the second one, third note, harmonize, the fourth note, third, fifth note, sixth, seventh, root. Note the second, third, fourth. So it's really just a pattern. I'm skipping this note. I'm going up instead of going up the scale. I'm going in thirds. Passing the second, going to the third, then back to the second note, passing that and going to the third. That's so I'm harmonizing with it. Same thing as this. Instead of going horizontally, I'm going vertically. I do this so much in my playing. Probably one of the most popular licks that I do. Like I'll do this all day long. I'll be playing stuff like. Do that a lot. It's a very, very popular lick to go up in thirds like that. And then going down, starting on the root, you're going down a third. Then starting on this note. the third exercise, going up, starting on the A string. I mean on the E string. It'll be the same thing right here. So any questions about this, please let me know. This is really, really great. Just dropped my pick. I'd rather pick it up than grab another one that's sitting right over here. Because I would grab that one, then I wouldn't stop thinking about the one that's right by my foot the whole time. All right. So Robbie H. Love has a great question here. Doing that helps locate the main chord tones. Yeah. Yeah, it sure does. Because say you're on, this chord vamp right here. You're playing this pattern right here. Get the roots. Here's the third right there. The fifth. Seventh. Third. It's a great way to, stop your notes. Phrasing. Cool. Pick location is important. Oh, I just gave you a round of applause for that one. Pick location is important. Pick location. So, yeah, I haven't really talked about pick location really too much, but as far as this particular pattern exercise, you're really practicing your alternate picking as well here, which is really, really helpful too. So you're knocking out two birds with one stone with this. So I'm going up and down. Really, really helps your alternate picking because you're switching strings as well. See that? I'm going down, up on the next string. Switching back and forth between strings. But at the same time, the most important thing is that I'm going back and forth. Even though I'm switching strings back and forth, I'm still only going back and forth. Does that make any sense? Even though I'm switching strings, I'm only going back and forth. So if you find yourself doubling up, going twice, you're doing it wrong as far as that's not really alternate picking. Oops. Or up here. I'm trying to get a turnaround up here to where I can continue going down without stopping. So I'd go. So I'm not hitting the E note twice, I'm just going. Okay. Once I hit that E, I'm going down. Same thing here. Oops. All right. My knees hurt. Pick location, as in not being on the floor. Oh. That is so funny. That is really, really, really funny. Scott Olson, how's it going? Give you a round of applause. How long should we practice that up and down picking a day to get that down? Up and down. Probably for the rest of your life. Now the up and down picking is, it becomes natural after a while to just do that, just alternate picking. You just want to kind of just remember that you're going down, up, regardless if you're playing on one string, one note, like Miserlou. If you're doing something like that, or if you're crossing strings like this, like that, it just becomes natural after a while. Just keep running through the scales. That's a really great one, 3 notes per string, alternate picking. Just remember, that you are switching strings here in alternate picking. Just like this. Down, up the next string. Down, up, down the next string. Loop. Pick location. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question a little bit. The blues rocker. Just keep practicing it. Just play with a metronome, run through all your scales, alternate picking, and you'll start to, when you run into a problem, you'll see, okay, well, you'll know that it's obvious right there, because you're thinking, okay, well, just break it down, play it slowly, and find out where you're doubling up. If you're playing a scale and it gets all jammed up in there, just figure out where it is. If you're not playing it, if you find yourself doubling up, just slow it down and find out where it is that you're doing that. And just do it slow. Get a metronome and just do it really slow, like a. Just go through that. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Thank you for the great question. Really great question. And let's see. 5 minutes of quality practice is better than an hour of noodling. Not practicing at all. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that, Anissa. Yeah, quality. Trying to focus on something. It's a great. A lot of us pick up the guitar and just play it like the Who song, right? That's a great thing. But if you could sit there and just come up with maybe something like this, like these 5 exercises, and you go, what? Next time I pick up the guitar, I'm just going to play an E loop, and I'm going to play these patterns. I'm going going to play it here next. Then I'm going to harmonize it up horizontally. That, and then I'll play it in thirds going vertically. And up here. And I'm doing pull-offs and hammer-ons right there. Combination of them, right? And then we have the last one right here, because we just did the thirds going vertically. Now check this one out. Here's the one, really cool one too, is a combination of this right here. We did the A string and the E string, playing in thirds, ascending. Now here's a cool one, going up the third, then down a third. And it sounds kind of like this right here. Sounds exactly like this. Let me go through some of these questions here first before I run to this last one. Stop the loop to clean no glitch. Let's see, 5 minutes. Quality practice, that's right. Scott Olson, a couple of them too. I get the start and stop. No glitch. Yeah, you got to get them smooth. On the downbeats generally is the best way to play with the loopers. And the ditto is a good one. I have a ditto. I don't use it, but I just use the Boss RC1. To me, is the best inexpensive looper. It's like $100. I've had that forever. But then you move up to the next one, the RC5, and it has so many more functions. It has a drum machine, and it has the whole rhythm thing. It has 99 presets that you could store. So I could toggle between. I could set up a bunch of scenes, preset scenes, and toggle between them. Like if I want to play over an E loop, if I want to play over an E loop with another chord, a second chord, I could store that so I could hit them with my, I have a MIDI pedal, disaster area pedal, and have them synced. So I could switch between the scenes with that MIDI pedal. And I also have the FS5U hooked up, and that's how I start and stop the loops. So, it's 2 more pedals that I added to my looper that really, really help. I have videos on that, how I use them as well, if you want to check those out. And let's see, the Blues Rocker. I have dynamics down as far as slides, pinch harmonics, bends, and vibrato. But alternate picking isn't one of my dynamics. We'll give you a quick tip on alternate picking. Play with a metronome and run through like exercises like I've have videos on this stuff right here where you just go down. Now you ascend, then you descend. Great exercises. Playing it slow. Start off with like a 60 beats per minute and just go. Just get them clean. And then, oops. What's that? That's hard. Just keep going up the frets. I'm like really sloppy for some reason here. My right hand's a little stiff right there. But it's really, really great practice. Do that. It's great for tremolo picking, stuff like tremolo picking and alternate picking. And it doesn't have to be that fast like that. Just being able to go up and down, back and forth smoothly is important. And Yep. Let's see. Is there a link for the pad below your keyboard? You mean this one over here? Wait, what pad? You mean these things? The mouse tracks? Is there a link for the pad below your keyboard? I'm not sure what pad you're talking about there. It's like these Apple trackpads. Right? There could be. By the end of this day, I could have that in there. It's just an app. These are two pads actually next to each other right here that I have. One of them is controlling my audio computer and one's controlling the video computer. Don't ask me why. It's a little crazy, but it's just what works for me. You know, not having everything on one computer really helps for the quality of it. But I have another, if you mean this thing, I have another resting, like a wrist pad on my other computer. That's a pad. Playing the horizontal scale. Blues Rocker, please explain the horizontal scale. Absolutely. The horizontal scale just means that I'm going horizontal right up the neck, right here. So instead of playing the scale this way, vertically, I'm playing it horizontally. And remember, I'm playing the A major scale, but starting on the E note. So those are the degrees of the Mixolydian scale. You have a natural second, major third, a fourth, a fifth, a major sixth, dominant seventh. So it's a really easy way to learn the scales that way is to think about what the degrees are. Just like right up here, the degrees. Roots. Second degree, F sharp, G sharp, A, fourth degree. Fifth degree is the B, sixth degree, C sharp, seventh degree, D. Just like that. But it's really so cool to know to harmonize it horizontally. To do it horizontally like that. And I'm just harmonizing with it. I'm playing, instead of just playing the root note, and I'm playing the chords based on harmonizing with the E7 chord. So you have an E7 chord, then the second degree will be minor, third degree will be minor, fourth degree is major, fifth degree is minor, sixth degree, minor, seventh degree is a major chord. So if you see in a chord progression that said E7, and the next chord, or if it was in the key of E7, for instance, and it said E7 is the one, if it said 7 chord, it would probably indicate that it was a 7, you know, a big 7, or like a flat 7 of it, and that would be the D, like this, or at least it's no D major, like that, just like that. E7. Technically, it's a major 7 chord. If I was to add sevenths in there, but with just the dyads, the 2 chords. It's really just a 5/4 chord of A. Easy way to remember it. Key of A, 4, 5. But we're really in the key of E7, so I'm trying to think of it as an E7. and harmonize. So once, if I'm thinking of A, it's easy for me to go 5, 6, 7, root the key of A. But technically over the E, harmonizing the A major scale, like this. But with the E droning, you have the E Mixolydian sound. Once resolved to A, right? Just like that. So hopefully that answers the question. Really, really cool. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Give you a round of applause. I do have one more exercise pattern here, example, I want to show you. Let me just read a couple more of these comments that you guys are saying. So kind of you to get that horizontal scale. Hopefully, Blues Rocker, that helped a bit with that. And I totally suggest playing all scales horizontally. Really get you to know the intervals that way and get you to play all over the fretboard, which is really cool. I do suggest 3 notes per string patterns to play modes. Yeah. I mean, there's, I suggest every possible way that you could play the note, play the modes. 3 notes per string, 2 notes per string, whatever. Knowing them all, there's really no good or bad way. Just pick one way and get good at it, whatever you feel comfortable with. Do. I mean, for instance, I learned modes starting on C like this, and it was kind of, I don't really even use it too much, or they say, but I say, for instance, C, Ionian. I learned it this way. Instead of 3 notes per string. Oops. It's a little bit more feasible, right? Than this way. But this has its advantages too, playing it this way. You can play arpeggios this way with it. 7th arpeggio. Which you can't do here, there's too much. That way. I played a Dorian scale like this way. Dorian mode. That's the way I learned. Like this. Like that. I mean, come on, look at this position right here. Doesn't make too much sense, but it's like part of the 3 notes per string starting on C. Except it goes back up that way on the string. What's good? I mean, the arpeggio things are pretty good here. 13th arpeggios. Was it like this? Oops. I don't even know it. That'll be over here. But anyway, playing them in multiple places with 3 notes per string is great for that. Do recommend that. Really, really cool. Let's see, 3 notes per string pattern. A lot of looper stuff in here, which is cool. And really, really good to have a looper. Absolutely. Looper could be used for more than just creating perfect loops. Yeah. Play kind of weird licks and ideas over it. Blues Rocker. We just got another subscriber. Thank you. I am grateful for that. Thank you so much for that. Blues Rocker. That's awesome. Scott Olson, was the Cherries Miserloo which hooked you with Blues Rock? Mixolydian, which hooked you with Blues Rocker, because I believe it was Jerry's video on Mixolydian which got me a subscriber. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I did that maybe last year. I did thing on Mixolydian. I was in Tampa, and I saw this guy, Sam something. I'm friends with him on Facebook now. He's a great guitar player, Sam, and it was just him playing guitar with some backing tracks, and he was doing all these really cool like surf type music and Western type music, and he was playing Mixolydian, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. So like the very next week, I like I did it Mixolydian. So I was very inspired by that, by Sam. I forgot what his last name is, but really, really cool guitar player. What's for lunch or dinner today? Oh, I don't know. Well, it's football championship Sunday, so I'm thinking about going out somewhere and watching the games, and probably won't be the most healthy of lunch. Maybe a burger somewhere, you know. Burger sounds really good. But I got one more I want to show you here real quick before we get into the dinner and lunch thing. But I could definitely see a beer or two in my future, you know. Okay, check this out. Here's the down-up thing right here, where you're going up, harmonizing horizontally the scale. I'm playing the first one, going down up, and I'm going up, down. Oh, I'm going up, and then I'm going down the second note. So I'm going up, and then down, up, or down, up, down, up, down, up. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's pretty cool, right? It really shows off the color of the scale. Can't really do it fast. We'll do it slow. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So once again, that's just going up, harmonizing the chords. But I'm playing them, picking them, going up. Second one going down. Third one going up, down. thank you so much for hanging out and watching here with me today. Blues Rocker, how did you highlight my name here? Well, I stream with a program called Ecamm Live. It's similar to like a StreamYard thing or whatever. And but I have a comment field over here with comments that pop up, and I just click on it. Click on it, it comes right up to the screen. Pretty cool, huh? And yep. So all right, gonna wrap it up. Just want to see if I missed anything. Nice meeting, pleasure meeting you today. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for anything, anytime that you guys pop in. All the questions I'm grateful for, and really cool. Robert, is there any ABBA songs that's harder to play than most? Is there any ABBA songs that is harder to play? Well, you know, there are a couple of places that are really highlighted for me, like the money shots, so to speak, right? Like when I play Chiquitita, I'm exposed. I'm on the acoustic guitar and I have to play that intro. You know, it's basically, I don't want to play because I'll probably get a copyright claim for that. But it's something that I do, which is similar to like what we're doing here in the lesson. It's just going up in dyads, harmonizing the A major scale, like A major scale. But if I harmonized it, it would sound like this. But in Chiquitita, it sounds like that. It's similar. It's like, you know, and it goes up the thing, and I'm exposed. So it's, even though it's easy to mess it up. So it's the last thing you want to do when it's just you there and you're playing that thing right there that everyone knows and loves, that riff. So that's hard as far as just concentrating, getting that right. As far as anything else, not really. You know, there's another one that's plays a the song When All Is Said and Done, and there's like a riff in there. It's like a little things like that you could, if you don't practice that ahead of time, you'll tend to forget, you know, little things. But there's nothing, after playing that for so long, music, there's nothing that's really too complicated anymore there. I mean, it sounds complicated, and the music's very interesting. And the thing is with ABBA songs, even though their songs are really easy, there's always something about them. There's like one part that's just a little different that they throw in there. You know, maybe an extra verse, not an extra verse, an extra measure here or there, or, you know, just a weird chord in there somewhere, or change your modes or something. It's pretty interesting. My Fender Strat with my Ibanez are both being worked on, but I saved this to work on when I get back. My Fender Strat and my Ibanez are both being worked on, but I'll save this. Awesome. Cool. And you might notice too, one of my guitars is missing. It's my Telecaster. Has been in the shop since October. And it's going to be a nice surprise when I get that back. Well, not really surprise. Surprise for you, maybe. And I'm really excited about that because it's getting a fret job. And while the frets are off, I'm having the whole neck sanded, all the lacquer, everything, back and front, lacquered, completely smooth, jumbo frets put on my Tele, my broadcaster. Because I bought it just a couple years ago, and there's nothing wrong with the frets. They're perfect. And but they're just low. They're really low, and I don't like the lacquer on the fretboard, so I just went for it. I brought it into the shop. Matt over at 30th Street Guitars. The only problem is that it's sitting there for like 4 months, and he hasn't gotten to it yet. So I have to bribe him with like pastries every time I go in there. It's like, hey, here's a cranberry bread that I got in Chinatown, you know? And he's like, yeah, I love it, you know? But he says every time I ask him when it's going to be done, adds another week to it. So I have to, you know, watch what I say carefully. But when it's done, boy, that thing's going to be so sweet. I can't wait for that. Really happy about that. So I found 1 string, 4 fingers, 4 frets. Easiest for alternate picking. Yeah, 1 string, 4 fingers, 4 frets. Yeah, that's great practice, alternate picking. All right. at thing. User's name may not work on phone. Give me a lot to work on. Yep, just take a piece at a time. I mean, it's really not a lot. You know, it's 5 different examples of how to play it, how to play Mixolydian. And take this with any mode. Take it with any scale. Do this with any scale or mode. And you really, really find it helpful. And thank you so much, guys, for hanging out, spending some time. Just looking through these comments, making sure I didn't miss anything. But thank you, Blues Rocker. My knees hurt. Blues Rocker, very, very cool. Roberts, great questions. And yeah, so many lessons. A lot of cool stuff. But I'm trying to just break it down into bite-size ideas. You know, thanks Jeffrey Boyle and Scott Olson, Mr. Lou. I try to break it down to bite-sized pieces and not give too much, because once you get overwhelmed with things, you know, it just becomes too much. And so just taking something simple like this is really cool. I'll run through it one more time and then we'll call it a day. But check it out. Here's the loop. Just create an E7 loop. Get yourself a nice little delay. You know, tap it in. What sound here? Okay, just played the first position right here. E Mixolydian on the A string. Then on the E string. Then I went up horizontally in thirds. Then I went up thirds vertically. Do it in time, not like me. I'm kind of rushing it. Same thing on the E string. Just like that alternate picking stuff, you know. Practice with a metronome or a loop, which is actually better, because you could have some music behind it, you know, like if I did something like a alternate picking. You know, or something like that. So I did these in thirds. Same thing on the E string. Then I went. Actually, I went. the deep end. Totally not what this lesson's about, but we're having fun here. All right, so we're wrapping it up right here. I think we went a little bit over here. So much over that I got like a weird spam going on right here. I don't know what that's all about. This ghost hammer thing is going on here, but let's see. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Oh man. Let's see what that is. Remove. Remove. Oh my goodness. If we do something like this. All right. I think hopefully that's all removed. There. I don't know what all that is. That's a lot of ghost square hammering. But hopefully that's gone in there. But anyway, Blues Rocker, you too. My knees hurt. Great live today. Thank you very much. My knees hurt. Give me a round of applause. And I'll give you a round of applause. Hit that like button. Love you guys. My knees hurt. Great live today. That's so cool of you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day and week for sure. And learning the major scale as well as the keys to understanding modes for those who struggle. Yep, for sure. Ken Haslin, thank you very much for popping in. Very cool. Some new people popping in today. I appreciate it. I'm totally grateful. I'm glad you enjoy this. Found a productive lesson today for sure. All right. Ever study Steely Dan's music like Larry Carlton and Skunk Baxter? Yeah. I love that. Larry Carlton's, oh my God. What can you say about Larry Carlton? Just genius, you know. All right. Thank you guys. I don't know where all that, hopefully that stops right there. But anyway, thanks, Jerry. I'll be checking out more from you when I get my guitars back. Peace. All right. So cool. Thank you guys very much for all that. And remember, guys, be cool, be kind, be cherry. If you want those graphs, email me info@cherry. I'll send you the graphs I made for today. There's only 3 of them. But and if you want to see another video on the Mixolydian mode that I did, positions all over the neck, I'll put a video right up there. Check that one out. I love you. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.